When it comes to Denmark, everyone talks about the free healthcare. But is it truly free, and is it really worth it? In this video, I will explain the Danish healthcare system to you, how it works, and if it's really worth the hype. Denmark boasts a universal healthcare system funded primarily through taxes. In 2024, it ranked 6th in the World Index of Healthcare Innovation and number 4 in the latest Euro Health Consumer Index ranking. While high rankings of course is a good thing, reflecting a country's commitment to accessible and quality healthcare for everyone, we should keep in mind that it's very hard to measure and compare the performance of healthcare systems in general. What we can learn from the rankings are that the Danish healthcare system seems to excel in digitalization, infrastructure, and broad coverage, while it seems to fare less well when it comes to availability of the newest treatments. But it makes up for that. Holders of a Danish health insurance card can find treatment in other EU countries and get the expenses covered. However, it's only a small number of people using this option, indicating that the coverage of treatments in the Danish healthcare system is sufficient for most people. Denmark allocates about 10% of its gross domestic product to healthcare, equivalent to about 45 billion euros. That's about 57,000 Danish crowns
per year per Danish citizen.
Though comparison is hard in this case, the USA spends around 17% of GDP on its healthcare system. This equates to about 107,000 Danish crowns per US citizen, so almost twice as much as the Danish system. Overall, it sounds like a lot of money in both cases, but let me know in the comments below what you think. Now, let's talk about what happens if you feel unwell in Denmark. If you're in Denmark and feel sick, your first step is to contact your general practitioner, your doctor. You call the GP in the morning during phone hours and you get a time allocated. Every resident is assigned a GP and they are your primary point of contact into the Danish healthcare system. For urgent but non-life-threatening situations outside of regular hours of your GP, you can call the medical helpline at 1813. In emergencies, dial 112 for immediate assistance with an ambulance or police. Every time you use a healthcare service, you swipe your yellow health insurance card, referred to in Danish as the Sygesikringsbevis. On it, you find a CPR number, which is your social security number. This is your ID number in the system for all interactions with the authorities, tax, healthcare, and what have you. Without this number, you cannot operate and function in Denmark, and it's also the first thing you will be assigned when you get here and want to live here. Later in this video, I will give you an example of how it works if you are in Denmark and you don't have a healthcare insurance card. Let's also have a look at how the healthcare system works for you and what you get. Overall, the Danish healthcare system provides a wide range of services free of charge to residents in Denmark. These include hospital care, primary care services, dental care for children under 18, childhood immunizations, cancer screenings, maternity care, hospice care, and permanent home care. I would call it end-to-end coverage, meaning from the time your illness is discovered to the time that you are cured, the system in most cases pays for everything or almost everything. This includes the drugs you need to take in the case of cancer treatment, for example, but also food at the hospital, transport to and from the hospital, and physiotherapy if you are hospitalized and in a special treatment. Essentially, it depends on the urgency of the situation. A cancer patient will get transport to and from the hospital covered, as well as rehabilitation and physiotherapy. But if you break your leg, your physiotherapy and painkillers are typically not covered fully. Many Danes like myself have private health insurance, paying around 20 to 40 euros a month to cover expenses related to physiotherapy, dental work, or psychological services. Danes would also spend around 100 to 200 euros a year on a travel insurance that will cover you in Europe in case you fall ill and need treatment or home transport. I left you some links below to check out the insurances that I would highly recommend for you to have in Denmark. Also, let me share a personal experience with the Danish healthcare system. A while back I ruptured my tendon playing badminton, a sport we really love in Denmark. I went to the emergency department and a week later I was operated on. After that, and 2 months later, my cast was removed and I underwent rehabilitation with a physiotherapist after getting a referral from my GP. The only cost I incurred was for the taxi ride to and from the hospital, totaling around 50 euros. Everything else was covered by the healthcare system. So you see that the GP is very important, as they decide if you are sick enough to receive a certain treatment and therefore also get it for free. You can of course always just walk into a health clinic from the street and get treated, but that's paid out of your own pocket if you sort of have encircled through your GP and been referred to a particular treatment. On another occasion, an American friend visited me and had a severe stomach issue. We went to the emergency department in Frederiksberg, and within 10 minutes a doctor attended to her. She was very concerned about the potential cost being a non-EU citizen, and of course also about the overall quality of the treatment that she would receive. But the doctor treated her just like any other Danish patient and prescribed the necessary medication, which we then purchased at the pharmacy next door. Overall, a really good experience, and me myself was actually a bit surprised that there was no mentioning or questioning her if she had health insurance or if she had like travel insurance or something like that. The doctor just said like, okay, I mean, I'm here, there's no waiting in line, just come in, we treat you, and that's it. He gets his salary anyways, right? So really nice experience. So is Denmark's free healthcare really worth it? From my experience and the country's high healthcare rankings, I would say it is. The system ensures that everyone, resident or visitor, receives timely and effective care without the burden of hefty medical bills or administration. I personally like the fact that someone takes care of you with no questions asked when you are at your most vulnerable state in life and in most need. Of course, there are cases every year where patients did not receive the correct treatment. Those cases are handled by the Agency for Patient Complaints in Denmark, which might rule to reimburse you for a bad treatment. But errors will occur in all healthcare systems, no matter how it's paid for. In my own experience, hospitals are generally working really well in Denmark, and lately I've had a lot of experience with it, both personal health issues but also severe health issues in my family, unfortunately. When I hear complaints, it's more about GPs not being easily accessible or not prescribing the medicine that people would like. But I will take that one in another video, as I also have my own stories to tell on that note. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and thank you for watching, and stay healthy.